Alright, I've been looking forward to this one. Alright, so this is Electrical Age. So there's a welcome to the official tutorial map for the mod. What's up here? Got a few items here. We've got a wrench, we've got an all meter, which is like a multimeter, I guess. Ooh. What's in the house? Not much. Alright, this is going to be so cool. Yeah, the great thing about this, if you just, all you have to do to get this is you just get the Mechanical Titan pack, which is a public pack, and then you just install the map into the pack. So look, this is Mechanical Titan. Got everything, got all the metallurgy. This is pretty much the best pack at the moment, I think. Because there's a lot in it. Like a lot in it. But anyway, don't worry about that. I'm not worried about it. Alright, so what did I get? Oh yeah, I got all the stuff. Can be used to turn some small wall blocks. Alright. It's like a multimeter, okay. What are these things? Alright, let's just... Okay. So voltage is the strength that makes current flow. Current in ampere is the electrical flow. Resistance... Yeah, ohm. Yeah, so it's like a little... I don't know why I can't do it. It's a horseshoe, basically. A horseshoe shape. That's what it looks like. There's a difficulty for electricity to take a path. Power is an energy flow. And some kind of Back to the Future reference. Energy in joules is an amount of work. Right, so energy is work. Voltage is strength. Yeah. And then this is to do with KVL and KCL. That's how you learn this stuff properly. This looks like a pretty good tutorial though. So voltage. Why isn't that not? Yeah, V equals IR basically is the first one. It's weird how they put it. Power is voltage times current. And that's the same as voltage squared divided by resistance, is it? So voltage squared divided by resistance. And that's the same as current squared times resistance. Yeah, it reminds me of, I guess a good way to look at that is it reminds you of the whole, when you look at the triangle for distance, speed, time. So what is distance, speed, time, distance, and you have a little triangle and you have the D on the top and then the S in the bottom left and the T in the bottom right. Often I think back when I try and do learning stuff, I think back about things I did in school because I remember a lot of the stuff, a lot of little things I did. Alright, so... And energy is power times the amount of time. That was a bit easier. But for example, you want to calculate the power drop in a wire. Power lost is going to be power squared yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's not because of the explanation's not good, it's because I just don't get it. Alright, well, we'll see if I can actually do it. Signal wire can carry information. Low voltage. Alright, so I need to keep on bloody remembering this. The first thing you do need to remember is that voltage. Voltage is the current. So that's a good mnemonic to remember it. There's a food called a current. There's a type of food called a current. So that's A, so that's amperes, that's voltage. And obviously energy is joules. Alright, so power, you can imagine power to be, yeah, power is the strength of someone, and the energy It's the amount of work they put in. Okay. Alright, that's good. Oh man, this looks sick. Alright, signal wire can carry information, yeah. I will try and remember this stuff. Let me just write down these equations actually. Alright. So voltage equals, and I would urge you, if you're watching my video, to do the exact same thing. I mean, maybe you're smart enough you don't need to, but if you're smart enough, you probably get it anyway. You don't need to watch my video, do you? So fuck off. No, I'm joking. I don't care really, you watch my video. Alright, so power is voltage times current. So the volts times the amps. So power is volts times amps. So that's volts times amps, isn't it? Yeah. Volts times amps, yeah. Alright. Power is also the voltage squared times times the current. No, sorry. Which one am I on? Voltage equals. I just get confused because this U looks like, because the V. I don't know why it's a U and it's not a V. But anyway, I'm probably going to do ASCII or Unicode or something. But anyway, so voltage. Yeah. All right. It's current in amperes times resistance. So to get the voltage, we do the current times the resistance. That's the first line. That was the first line of equations. Okay. Now in the second line, we're looking at power. So power is voltage times current. It's also the same as voltage squared. Yeah, I wasn't following along correctly. Over resistance. So voltage is in volts, resistance is in ohms. So voltage squared over resistance. Okay, and that's the same as the current squared in amperes times the resistance. Is it now? So power is voltage squared over resistance, or the current squared times resistance. So what would that be then? Alright, so if you're following along with me, and then I'll just put the next one down because that's quite interesting. I want to work out some other things that we can work out from there. And then the third one is, oh no, sorry, I did the third one already. Alright, so what happens if we look at, let's look at this voltage squared times resistance. So what is voltage squared? Well, voltage squared is voltage times voltage. Voltage is current times resistance, therefore current squared times resistance squared over resistance. So that's equivalent, isn't it? So voltage squared over resistance is equivalent to current squared times resistance squared over resistance. And so we can then cancel the resistance, and they cancel out. So it would be current squared times resistance over 1. So current squared times resistance. Now let's start from current squared times resistance. This is very, very fucking basic, but I just wanted to just understand this relationship between the different kind of entities, variables actually. No, I suppose an entity is just a, well, actually no, it's a database tool, isn't it? Because you get the ER diagrams in databases, don't you? I will move on to the actual mod soon enough, but I'm ridiculously slow normally, and for this stuff I'm even slower, so it's not good. Alright, so we've got current squared times resistance. So what's current then? Current is, well, we said earlier that the voltage is current times resistance. So therefore, we can also write the current is going to be, we divide both sides by resistance, don't we? So current will be voltage over resistance, right? That's how we get that one. Alright, so it's going to be, so current squared times, so that's what we said, didn't we? So it's either voltage squared over resistance. So then we would have voltage squared. No, sorry. Yeah, it was a very, very basic level. I don't get this confused at all. Voltage over resistance times voltage over resistance, and then so that's how we're going to replace our current squared. That's by having voltage. Could do voltage squared over resistance squared. But anyway, not going to do that. Times resistance. Compare resistance over 1. Why not? So yeah, so one of the cancels. So what would that be? V squared R. No, I've got this confused, haven't I? Current squared times resistance. Well, current is definitely voltage over resistance. Yeah, so that would be V squared over R squared. To replace that, and then we times that by resistance. So then we would get V squared R over R squared, right? So then we just get V squared over R. Yeah, okay, sorry, yeah. I was just getting confused for a second. And I've kind of, yeah. Let's not think about that anyway. Anyway, so low voltage, 50 volts, 20 amp max. So voltage is voltage, amperes is current, power. Yeah, let me just put the units actually on the top of my thing here. So voltage V, current A, resistance is ohm. Oh, is it ohm or is it? I think I just said the symbol for Amiga, didn't I? Ohm doesn't look like that, does it? What does ohm fucking look like? I can't even remember. Power is wattage. That's the strength. Energy is joules. That's the work. Okay. So wattage. What strength? What strength here? That's not bad, is it? What strength? I don't know how you can say work. No. It's a public school thing. Jolly fun work. There we go. It's public school. Alright. Alright, so low voltage. So yeah, to get the power we do the voltage times the current. Or we also could do, so for instance in this example, yeah. V squared. Yeah. This we are else, but yeah, I just wanted to check that final one. Alright, so let's look at the... So we've got three different things, haven't we? So we'll do the first one. So the first one, V equals IR. Well, actually, no, we want to calculate the power now, don't we? So we want to calculate what strength. So to calculate the power, we're going to need to do voltage, which is V, current, which is A. So we do voltage times current, that's 50 volts times 20 amps is 1,000. If we wanted to... So what about... yeah, we don't know the resistance yet, so we can't include any equations that have got a resistance in them. Can we? No. And I guess that second 50 volts is referring to the time. Yeah, the only thing we can calculate is power, which is voltage times current, because they're the only numbers we have. So what about if we could do a triangle for that? So power would probably be at the top of the triangle, wouldn't it, if you've got a 3 triangle? Can you do that triangle, I wonder? So power is voltage times current. Okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you divide both sides by voltage. You get power over voltage is current. And then if you go straight back to that one, you could divide both sides by current. So yeah, you can make the triangle. Power over current is voltage. Let's check that then. So power over, so we've got these three numbers here. Power is 1,000 watts. Voltage is 50 volts. 1,000 divided by 50 will equal 20 amperes, because we're dealing with currents. Okay, so then we have power over current equals voltage. Okay, so that was the second one we got. So we know that its power is voltage times current. It's also power over voltage. It's also power over current. So it's that triangle, isn't it? It's like a little triangle of three. I can't explain it. But if you remember, or you did the DST one, you'll remember like the D over S is T, and then the D over T is S, and all that stuff, and S times T. That's how you've got to look at it when you're dealing with distance, speed, and time, and stuff like that. So many similarities, exactly the same. So like I say, power over current, the power is 1,000, the current was 20 amperes, therefore the voltage is 50 volts. So that's all the different ways you can sort of get from one place to another in the equation. Okay. So I think that's probably enough time on that. So what do we have here then? So I think these things are just, these are where, yeah, these spots. There are some wires in the mod, they all have some limits. Maximal voltage, maximal heating. The current through cables heat it. Therefore you can consider it. No, that's not. What does that sign mean? If, that means if, doesn't it? I think with one arrow on one greater than sign like that. If you had the less than side on the left hand side, then it would be if and only if. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry too much about the computer science concepts at the moment. Focus on the electrical ones. Okay, so there's some wires in the mod. There were some limits. Maximal voltage, yeah. Maximal heating, yeah. So maximal voltage. Okay, so the maximal voltage. Yeah, when we deal with resistance, because that's the one thing that doesn't come into my triangle, I'm going to have to think of another triangle. I don't know if I'll be able to think of it. I'll probably have to spend like a bit too long to think about what it is. Because obviously you can't find any of these things properly. Because I don't know why, but things are never explained properly by anyone, which is annoying. So if one of these limits is overflowed, they explode. Okay. Yeah. So the nominal voltage, the 50, 200 and 800. Alright, so that's the different, that corresponds to different cables. But practically you can reach 60, 240, 1000 without risk. Okay. Same as maximum current through cable. 20, 10. So they're listed in a negative order here. So the power is voltage times current. So what's that? 60 times 20 is 1200. 240 times 10 is 2400. And 1000 times 6.25 is 6250. So the overall power you can get with the cables is increasing. So what's the additional amount of power that you can get from overclocking it? Well, we can get 60 times 4, which is 240. We can get 240 times 2, which is 480. Or we can get 1000 times 1.25, which is 1125. So the overclocking increases exponentially, and yeah. But there is a parallel, isn't it? 60 times 4 is 240, 240 times 4 is 960, so yeah. What's that? I wonder if that's part of the game. Who knows? But anyway. Right. That means get on with it. Alright, so... Alright. So yeah, so medium voltage, that's the way to look at it. I was looking at it in a different way, I think. 200 volts, 2000, yeah. 800 times 6.25. Alright, so what do we have here then? There's two basic circuits. Small blue boxes are creative yeah, this is a difficult. What's the opposite of this? Yeah, it's quite. That's very hard to say. How you would even say that? But basically, yeah, they're just a voltage source, infinite voltage source. Okay, you can specify voltage by right-clicking on it. In the back of the room, there are some lamps that consume energy to produce light. You can probe voltage, current power with your meter. As you can see on the left circuit, all the current flowing through the same cable. Let me just. As you see on the left circuit, all the current flowing through the same cable. And that produces what does it produce? I guess we'll have to find it next time. Yeah, I'll have to get into this probably next time. Alright, that's it.